Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the next terrifying episode of Random Rhapsodies, Sonnet of Blood. I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master for this Curse of Strahd playthrough. And joining me around my virtual table tonight are Brandie, Dyto, Joe, Marty, and Natalie. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Well done. Now, before we begin, we do have a few announcements to get through, starting with the first of our two sponsors for tonight's show, HeroForge. Marty?
HeroForge offers fully customizable tabletop miniatures with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. Their easy-to-use design tool lets you build your perfect miniature online using a fully 3D, in-depth character creator right in your web browser, which is where we built our tokens for this evening's game. You can build your own today at heroforge.com.
Thank you, Marty. Our second sponsor for tonight's show is XSplit. XSplit is a high-quality virtual webcam background remover that works with your already existing webcam. Using this program, you can protect your privacy while you work or play remotely by blurring the background, removing it entirely, or even putting your favorite picture as the background instead. You can download the app today at xsplit.com, and if you use the coupon code RANDOM with a capital R, you can get 10% off of your purchase. You can find our referral link in the show description. Last but not least, this upcoming Monday, is Christmas. So Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone. We will not be airing anything that night, obviously, so all cast and crew can spend that time with their families. However, we will be back next Wednesday, which is the 27th, with Dreams of Infinity, our Magi Knights Awakening campaign. Also, starting in January, we have our two brand new campaigns, the Aethertech Wars and Aether Shanties. Both of them are going to be filling our Monday time slots starting in January, although the third Monday of January, we will be doing our Fab 5 campaign wrap-up, which is going to be fun and a little bittersweet. Now, you can keep up to date on our schedule and everything we're doing here on the network by following us on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV, on Twitter as @random_Rhapsody, or at Blue Sky as Random Rhapsody. And that's going to do it for the announcements. So join us as we return to Barovia and continue on with the Conclave Expedition as they attempt to survive a Sonnet of Blood. And we're back. You know how we do our recaps. Whoever does it gets the Random Rhapsody coin, which they can redeem during the session for one free Nat 20. Which means that, yeah, if I'm the one that does the recap, I get that Nat 20, which is a terrifying thought considering where our heroes are right now. Brandie volunteered to do the recap. Unfortunately, she got sick with an upper respiratory infection, which is kind of limiting her speech. Brandie is still going to be playing with us today, but since her speech is limited, Marty volunteered to read it for her.
Thank you very much, Marty. I super appreciate you.
Of course. Get well soon. Last time on Sonnet of Blood, after failing miserably at sneaking through the fog to get to the manor house, we were attacked by more of those scarecrows. This time we were a bit more familiar with their tactics, and we were able to effectively dispatch our foes. We reached the village crossroads and continued towards the manor house on the hill. We passed some old, bloody fence posts. That seems pretty ominous. We found the manor ruins and met the former mayor, Ulfric, or at least his spirit, anyway. He told us a tale of how the house was destroyed. Long story short, the village priest claimed that God had spoke to him and told him a local healer was corrupting the souls of the villagers for Strahd. He urged the townsfolk to burn her at the stake. And in retribution for her death, Strahd decimated the village and swore to wipe out humanity. The mayor was cursed to remain there to tell his tale to any who happened by. He also spoke of a memorial left by Strahd, and when we investigated, Irina seemed to have had a past life experience, much like Vide did at the inn when he saw that man hanging in the tree. Irina suddenly started digging in the dirt and found a locket with a picture of a baby. She seemed to recognize the child as she uttered his name. Perhaps she's the rebirth of this healing woman.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Who did we say is getting the random Rhapsody coin?
That will be going to Brandie, since she took the time to write that.
Okay, well, there you go, Vide. There's the random Rhapsody coin. Don't forget to use it. It's only going to last today. Well, everybody. Expedition members, you are still outside the Aldrin Manor House, which is near that monument Strahd had apparently made with magic in honor of the healer woman named Liese, who apparently was burned at the stake for the crime of being a witch. Irina has climbed to her feet by this point, dusting off her trousers, and as I said, she stuffed that locket in her pocket, the one that she found in the dirt. And then she informed you all that it won't be long before nightfall, though, considering the gloom of fog all around you, it really hasn't been all that bright out since you arrived on this side of the river. Vide still has his lit torch, which at least illuminates the immediate area around you, though this too is hindered by the fog, which looms about 30 feet past all of you. Still, you do know that somewhere back in the village is the hut of Baba Lysaga, where you seem to think one of the items, Madame Ava's Taroko reading, one of those items is hidden. There is also the mention of a reward from the ghost of Aldra's mayor, if, of course, you can lay the bones of his son to rest in the village graveyard. There is also that back garden the ghost had mentioned earlier, something about an adventurer going back there at one point, which lies behind the mansion you are all currently at. And let me go ahead and put you on the map there so you can see that. There you all go. So, with that in mind, expedition members, what do you want to do?
Oh boy.
Curl up into a ball and cry?
Yeah, mostly.
Is that an option? It's not that hard for Cog. Not a whole lot to curl.
Do
Yeah, that is valid, I suppose.
do we think that since it's getting dark, or close to dark, even though it looks like it's already been dark for a while, I don't know how laying bones to rest really works. Is that a quick job? Is that like a we should wait until morning kind of job?
Well, we gotta find his bones, and we probably walked past them.
You said they were by the
Didn't we
sticks in
come
the
in that
ground.
way? Yeah, where people were kind of crucified. We walked through that area. I mean,
We did.
we'd have to go find them. And that's kind of through all those the scarecrow monsters.
Yeah.
Have to like go back through them. I would
We
say
have a
we
little something to deal with that now.
well, that's very nice to know. We could have used that before. I mean, perhaps that is something we can wait and leave until. I mean, is it ever really safe? Really?
No. It's no.
The back garden is out to the west of the statue. Is it
To
behind
where
the
you
statue?
to where you are now, the mansion is to the east, to the right side of the map, and that garden that the ghost had pointed out was directly behind the mansion.
All right. Well, perhaps we could check out the garden. Maybe scout out around the mansion a little more, and then, dare I say, try and bed down for the night. In a place like this, I understand that's very difficult to do. Whoa!
Whoa, you were
Did that?
Yeah.
that
Did
was
that sound
hardcore
like an
pixelated.
alien?
Okay, so that it wasn't just me.
That was not just you. No.
Okay, I thought my cold medicine was messing with me.
I didn't have any cold medicine, and that sounded.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I understood it perfectly.
Natalie, try talking again.
I could see her smile.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Cursed.
Well, I mean, it is the curse.
I do see her mouth moving, but I don't hear words coming out.
Nope. Nor do I.
Okay, what about now?
Yes.
There we go.
Much better.
Much better.
Test.
Yep, we can
Can you
hear
not
you.
hear us? Oh no.
Well, we can hear you.
Okay, I can kind of hear you. You guys are very quiet, at least with me, so it's all good. Just talk, loud.
And so, I guess, do you want to say what you wanted to say again in character?
I said I am all for it. Let's go do that. Let's go explore the
Okay.
garden.
Yeah.
Little Davos says, a garden. Mommy always says it's dangerous to go out of the garden. But our garden was nothing more than a dirt patch. So, I never knew why it was called a garden.
Your mother tried to sell you because she got high on pie, so, I mean, I don't know if I'd listen to her.
High on Pie is so funny. It's my next band name.
Yeah, let's go check out, I'm sure this garden full of lovely blooming flowers and dancing rabbits. It's gonna be a good old time. Oh shit, I just gave him...
Areas,
I
in
just
some
gave him
areas,
an
the
idea.
garden is more of a yard than like a, garden.
Well,
with
we
flowers.
don't live in the UK here. But I just gave Matt fucking a monster idea, dancing rabbits. Great.
Oh man, hold on. Let me make some notes real quick.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you all start making your way towards the ruin of the manor house. There are some walls that are up, as I've described them previously, none of them more than like 5-6 feet tall at the highest points. What is left of the roof of the building is mostly caved in, and throughout the area, there's moss and grasses growing through the what remains of the once stone floor of this, at one point, pretty damn big manor house. I'm going to have you pause right there for a moment. The
I
ghost...
assume we found the garden then.
Yeah, you did find the garden. As you're making your way through the manor house, you do notice that set of stairs that are leading down towards a cellar. That you kind of glance down the stairs a little bit as you pass, but see that it is filled with stone and debris. It's been caved in somewhat. Theoretically, you might be able to excavate it. It doesn't look like it's too tightly packed down there, like as though somebody filled it in. It just looks like some of the ceiling caved in downward. But it would probably take some time to do so. Now, as you continue to make your way south, you can see that the walls open inward, and beyond that, past a wrought iron door that's rusted and half buried in the mud on the ground, you can see what was probably at one point a very well-kept garden that is now massively, massively overgrown. Moss and lichen cover nearly every surface of the area that you can see. There are very large trees that are just overgrown, a couple of which actually are stripped bare of leaves, obviously dead. The one most immediate to the door you're all kind of walking through right here is actually split in half, blackened on the inside as though lightning had struck it at one point. There's also a lot of bushes that were once possibly topiary, but are now tall and overgrown, hanging with vines and all sorts of other plants and things. It's just overgrown to hell. There's no flowers. There's no there's nothing that really looks nice here at all. It's just thick and overgrown. However, one thing you can see is towards the back, through the trees, you can see that there is a skeleton propped up against, or lying kind of back alongside one of the trees. And there seems to be some stuff kind of over it, like there's some vines and stuff kind of on top, or not vines, there's like moss kind of half over the whole thing, but the skull itself is laid bare and kind of grinning to one side. And it's only about, 30 feet away from you, so or 35 feet away from you, so it is pretty easy to see. With Vide's torch behind you, it kind of just gleams off the pale white of the skull and makes it almost a beacon. So, what do you do?
I'm going to approach the skeleton.
I'll follow not far behind.
Yeah.
Maybe like 5 or 10 feet behind.
Absolutely. Everyone can go ahead and start moving their way into the area.
Oh.
Now, as you all know, this is Barovia. Barovia sucks. And as you all are kind of looking at those, that skeleton there, who has the highest passive perception?
Not me.
Cog's got 14.
That's what I thought. It's kind of low.
I have 15.
Yep.
15. Well, here's the good news, is that you do actually see something moving among the trees. At first, you see like a branch starting to reach outward towards one of you. Vide, you immediately notice this, turning and pushing the thing away, but as you push the branch away, it doesn't feel like a branch. It kind of molds itself a little bit and feels almost flesh-like. And I need everybody to roll for initiative. As you aren't caught by surprise by a large group of mimics.
Mimic.
Damn it. Oh, there's a lot of them.
Nah. They're just babies.
Oh, just little guys.
It's true.
Look at that nat 20 from Corwan.
Let's go.
He's lowers to the ground.
Well done, everybody, not getting caught by the mimics. You know, mimics are just such a great monster and so rarely used. That's okay. Well, let's go ahead and get some battle music going. There we go. I need to reload roll 20 because it's being a butthead.
What is that? Is that a coffee pot in the token?
Yeah, it's a teapot. The mimics
yeah.
they made the mimic tokens look like little teapots,
That's amazing.
right?
Because I was trying to figure. I was like, why is it? Does it have a? And I was like, yep, it's like a pot.
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious when I saw these things. Those are juvenile mimics. Basically, the branches of trees are and parts of the trunk are like reaching outward, all trying to grab at you all. But good news is that Vide spotted it quick-like and was able to alert you all, which allows Corwan to react first. So Corwan, now that you can see these things that are no longer looking like, bushes and branches and stuff, what do you do?
Well, he'll steel himself, keep his shit together, and not scream like a little girl. And he will just kind of, in a quick panic, throw a sacred flame at this one right here.
I forgot to roll for Irina and Davos, so I'm doing that real quick.
So it's going to be a DC 15 dex for this one. It's just to, I guess, his east.
Got it. Let me get Davos in here real quick. Okay, and then which one did you say you're hitting again?
The one that's just to his east. So this one right here.
Perfect. Okay.
So DC 15 dex.
I rolled a nat 1, so definitely hit.
And it's a 6 radiant damage to that little sucker.
6 radiant damage to that little sucker there. You send out this bolt of radiant energy, and it strikes the creature center mass, and it just withers back. You severely wounded it.
He sees look. He's gonna kind of quick. He's gonna step through Vide's thing and kind of like go behind him. So he made the purpose of kind of moving between Vide's legs and kind of cowering behind him. He goes, I'm gonna go past the part. He goes, you do smell a little bit, bud. We're gonna deal with that, but go get that thing. He's like, I heard it. You kill it now.
Okay. Next up is the thing that you just hit.
Shit, it's that one. God damn it.
Yeah, it is definitely that one. Good news is that
it's only got 5 feet of movement.
Well,
Awesome.
actually, it has 10 feet of movement, which is kind of funny.
Still.
So what it's going to be doing is, as it's moving, it's going to begin to shapeshift. You can see it reaching up to a branch and moving along it, kind of like Slinky style. But as it does, and it goes from one tree to the next, it begins to morph and shift and change its shape. It's attempting to hide among the branches. So I'm going to roll a stealth to myself. However, you see it. I'm just going to go based on your passive perception on this, because he only rolled a 12, and pretty much everyone has higher than a 12, so it moved to right here. You can still see it. It is then going to, let's see, that was action and movement, so that's it for that thing. But I do have another one. That one is going to kind of move down into the ground and start inching its way up to Danika. And it's going to attempt to bite you, Danika.
Oh shit, I just saw a mommy mimic on the field. Oh.
Mhm.
I thought they were all little ones.
However,
No.
I rolled my second nat 1 of the game.
Oh, no.
And
Hey!
absolutely
Hey,
miss.
That just means all the 20s are coming, guys. Don't get excited.
Yeah.
All or
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah, we're getting rid of my bad rolls now. That way I can kill you later with the hag. Okay, so that is that mimic's turn. Next up, we have Danika with Urzak on deck.
Is there a way for me to throw up a 40-foot cube so I can see how big it is?
You can actually. There is, if you look down
player
at the bottom
icons.
of the journal area, there's the area of effect templates.
Ooh.
40-foot cube.
Thank you. Is there... Can I have that cover all of the mimics? Let me
Looks like
just...
Yep.
I'm going to... Yeah, let's do that. Danika is going to cast Slow on all of the mimics. There's 6 of them, right?
There are actually, I think, more than that. Let me look
Are
here.
there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are exactly 6.
I'm going to cast it on all 6 of them.
Nice. Slow on all of them, so I gotta make a bunch of wisdom saving throws. This'll go well. 1,
How
2,
wise are
3,
mimics?
4, 5. They're super wise. They're like the king of wise.
Like 30 wisdom.
1, 2,
Jesus.
3, 4, 5. So it looks like one of the juvenile mimics does succeed. That's going. I'm not going to tell you which. Well, actually, yeah, you would know. It's that one that succeeded. That's the first
Oh,
one.
great. The one that's next to Davos.
Yep.
No!
I didn't
Wait,
do that
that's
on
not-
purpose. What are you suggesting?
Maybe that's not such a bad thing. Maybe it'll take care of our Davos problem.
Wow. Let's see. Here's the.
Oh, please don't let anything happen to him.
Wow, you guys all suck.
just-
I
Look at that.
accidentally rolled this to GM. It did roll a 15, which does just succeed the mimic.
Mhm.
Ashley N is in chat saying that maybe I used all of my good rolls up in the Magi Knights game last week because I was rolling like crazy good.
Didn't you have like
I'm
five
okay
or
with this.
5 or 6 crit saves with the Dream Child?
Oh yeah,
you were
yeah.
kicking out a shitload of 20s then too.
Someone's got to take one for the team.
This is true. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mark these with blue. That these are all the slowed mimics.
Okay.
There you go. Control spell on the field from Danika. That's just your action. You still got a bonus and a movement.
For my bonus action, I would like to cast. I would like to do Unsettling Words, but I can't find it. Where are you at? Unsettling Words.
Kind of sounds cool.
And I'm going to cast it. Let's see. I want to use it on the one that is closest. No, let's give it to the one that's on Davos, or near Davos. That little one over there in the corner. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna let you know this this thing here. It subtracts the number rolled from the next saving throw it makes. So
Okay.
you got Big Mama over here, down right next to you, and this little guy here next to Davos don't have a whole lot of hit points. You
That's
know
fair. That's fair. I'll use it on the one Big Mama. That's okay. Thank you, GM.
I'm generous every so often.
Every now and then.
It's a holiday miracle.
It just means I'm going to kill you later. That's all it is.
You wouldn't do that for us to us right before Christmas.
Cog knows gentle
It's the
repose, guys.
holidays.
We're fine.
Okay, go ahead and roll that bard dice now, and then the next time he makes a saving throw, that's what it's going to be reduced by.
Oh shit, it's Daddy, not Mama. Oof.
Well, I said Mama.
Oh, he said me that time, so I was just like, oh god, no, we got pissed off Daddy. And not Mama.
It's a mimic. It's gender neutral.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's both mommy and daddy.
How does a mimic reproduce, I wonder? Guarantee there's an Guarantee wizards went into it and explained it.
I guarantee it's going to be like an osmosis thing. They just kind of separate parts off.
Kind of like a gelatinous cube.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm like a failure today. I just want you to know that.
What's up?
But what is my bardic inspiration dice? Where is that at?
It should
Is
be
it just like
Is it an 8 by now? I think it's an 8 at 5.
That one.
so
Let's see. Bardic Inspiration. It's the top of your thing. Yeah, it's a D8 at 5th level.
D8. It's a D8. Da-da-da-da-da.
I've never even played a bard.
No worries.
I always feel like I'd have to do some kind of singing, and I suck at that. So I mean,
I got a 1.
Ouch. Okay, we will definitely remember to subtract that 1 off the next saving throw this mimic does.
Okay, good. Whew.
Okay. Next up is Urzak.
All right. I guess taking care of Big Mama is the first order of business, so I'm gonna move up 5 feet.
As you
These
move up
things-
5 feet, you crunch on the leg of the skeleton. There, and your foot kind of goes down a little bit. And when you look down, you notice like there's a hole, and there's the bone that you just stepped on and broke, but it's inside of something. You can see the edge of a boot there underneath the dirt.
Danika, you can replace your poopy boot.
All right, notes
Danika
later.
has the boots.
Okay, I am going to take some attacks. First one.
Oh yeah, you're
Roll,
5th
please.
level now. You can swing twice.
You get 2. Yeah.
25.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
All right, I'll just do all the damage at once in a moment. Second attack.
Smite that shit.
26.
Well, unfortunately, that one missed.
Ah, dang.
Nah, it hits.
Okay.
Big Green bringing the heat.
All right, so that's going to be 2d8 plus 10. And I will add 1 first and 1 second level smite.
Wow.
For
Are you trying to
additional-
one shot the mimic? Is that where you're
Maybe.
trying here?
I
Okay,
just want to do something. I want to roll a lot of dice.
I'm for this. Do it.
Okay, so that's 2d8 plus 10 plus another 5d8 because first level is 2d8, second level is 3d8. So 7d8.
There should be a way that if you just click on them as you're doing them on the sheet, it should roll all at once. At least it does on the roll 21.
Plus 10. So 44 damage.
44 damage. Wow. So with these 2 heavy swings, Urzak just laces into this kind of slug-like looking thing that was once a tree trunk, but it's actually a mimic. 44 points of damage, unfortunately, is not enough to take it out in one hit, but I'm going to tell you this. You took 2 huge chunks, and then you just sent a explosion of radiant energy into it. Like, you cleaved a chunk off this thing, and it falls to the ground, and what's left of it is like screaming in pain, just it looks very, very hurt.
Yeah, Urzak's not even in the mode to like say something poignant or anything. It's just
This is him taking out his anger on not being able to fight in the scarecrow fights.
death.
Yeah. I dig it. Well, next up is that mimic that is in so much pain. Mimic got a mimic. It is going to attempt to, I think, pseudopod you, because that's fun.
Oh,
There's that nat 20.
I told you guys it was coming.
Hold on. Yep, silvery barbs.
You got some spells left? Okay, silvery barbs.
I haven't used any of my spells.
No? Nice.
I used nothing but cantrips because it was my only fire spell.
Love it. Still a 17.
My AC is 18.
Wow. It misses you. And it's withering backward now. It's just, it looks like it's trying to get away from you and moving along the side of the trunk. It's not getting out of your area of opportunity, but it looks like it is trying to get at least a little bit away from you. Next up, we have another of the mimics, the little ones, with Delphine on deck. Now, because of that slow, I believe it gets half its speed. Let me double check. Yeah, speed is halved, takes a -2 to AC, and dex saving throws. Can't use reactions, can either use an action or bonus, not both. It is going to attempt to at least use both its movement and its action to move 10 feet in this direction, and that's all it's got. Delphine's up next with Vide on deck.
For my action, I'm going to cast Melt's Minute Meteors. and these little balls of fire just start swirling around me, and I'm going to huck one of them right here. So both of these little guys need to make a dexterity saving throw.
And they have disadvantage on this.
And I do not have Hex on. Let me turn that off.
The one doesn't. The one saved. The one closest to
That's
Davos
right.
doesn't
Thank
have
you
it.
for that.
It's not like I want the kid to die or anything, guys. I just want to be fair. And I want him to die. What?
Here's the first one. It rolled a 9. That's a failure. Next one gets this at disadvantage. That's a 7. That's also a failure. Roll that damage.
10 fire to each of them.
10 fire to each of them. Just erupts in this tiny little fireball as this meteor, which I'm going to mention as they conjured into being. You didn't get a chance to look at them right then because you're casting the spell and throwing it, but as you threw it and as everyone else looks at you and sees the others still hovering around your head, you notice they don't just look like rocks. They look almost skull-like, with kind of craters in there and this little jagged mouth, and they seem to be burning just a little bit. Flames kind of hovering off them. So she basically has 4 more, I think it's 4, right?
I still have 5. I just hucked
5.
one.
Okay, so you have 5 little flaming skulls floating around her head, almost like a burning halo. That's fucked up. However, it does also destroy these 2 mimics.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm gonna huck another one. So I can huck 2. I'm gonna try not to hit anybody. But I'm also not gonna go after Big Mama. I'm gonna try and save Danika a little bit. I'm gonna huck the other one right here. So it'll hit this one.
Dex disadvantage is still a 13.
This is the new one. So let me hit it again. That one's only 8 fire.
Still enough to take out that mimic. They don't have a whole lot of hit points, these little juvenile ones. So you know what? Since you just destroyed 3 of them, just describe for us how it looks.
Delphine kind of does her little blade dance to make these skulls just float around, and almost like a frisbee. Almost, she doesn't throw it like a baseball, but just gracefully like a frisbee, just kind of tosses them just onto the ground to explode.
Love it.
Now she has 4.
And as those 4 remaining ones just hover around you, just ever so faintly you hear this sound. Vide, you're up next.
Do you guys hear that?
I hear what?
Alright, I'm gonna go up here. I'm gonna hit him with my scimitar. I'm assuming 9 misses.
Yes, a 9 does miss.
Oh.
Okay, well,
Even with the minus to AC?
Oh, wait a minute. No.
You get
Hold on.
2.
It's
Attack,
minus
2
2. Actually, yeah, with the minus 2 to the AC, it just hits. They have an 11 AC.
I got you, Vide.
Nice.
You love to see it.
So 7 damage.
That's exactly how many hit points this thing has.
Let's go.
Alright. And then I'm gonna step up here. And I'm just gonna attack that. Because I get extra attack. 17 and 4 if that hits.
4 does. The 17 does hit. 4 more points of damage off of this mimic as it's like kind of moving and inching along the trunk of the tree. You just kind of jump out and slash through it. It's not enough to take it out, but it recoils from you, and that just giant mouth kind of screams out more in pain.
Isn't extra
That's
attack
it.
so nice?
It is. I like extra attack.
It's true. Oh, I forgot to switch these two out. Irina's turn next. Yeah, let's just have her do her good old faithful sacred flame at the one near Corwan. That's a dex save. That is a 10. It failed. And so 7 points of radiant damage, enough to burn this thing out of the tree. Just a bolt of light shoots out from Irina's hand, hitting the mimic as it's inching its way down the branch of the tree. And the thing just crumples to the ground, dead. I feel like she's just going to kind of move around to the other side of Davos to keep herself between Davos and the mimic that's left. Davos, on his turn, is going to peek around her and yell, "Firebolt!" But he doesn't know how to cast spells, so nothing happens.
Well, he tried.
Yeah, he did. He did.
I know it was
Good
an
try,
acceptable
buddy.
volume for once.
Looks like we're at the top of the turn order. There's only the mimic left. Corwan, you're first with Danika on deck.
Full disclosure, I was going to ask what are the odds that I could tame that mimic that was left, that last baby one, and keep it as a pet, but now that it's dead, that's a moot point.
Oh, hold
There
on.
are rules. There are rules for it.
I just think it'd be great to, like, you know, there's that meme of the guy with the coffee cup, and then there's a coffee cup right next to him, and it's his fucking pet mimic.
Yeah,
I actually have a book on how to tame and raise beasts.
Yeah, sorry, not in this campaign, buddy.
Alright, yeah, we'll just go ahead and toll the dead that one then. That is. And since it'll be a 15 wisdom,
And I feel,
potentially 10 necrotic.
yeah, absolutely.
See, it'd be great if he's just smoking his pipe. And then he's like, he thought, or Urzak thought he gave him his pipe, but it turns out Urzak had the mimic in his mouth, you know? It'd be great. But
unfortunately, with a 19, that is a success.
oh, Mama is smart, so. Alright, yeah, I mean, he'll kind of hang out back here, you know, with the civilians, and just chill with them. Let the big folk do the upfront fighting.
Fair enough.
He'll shout words of encouragement, though. He's like, go get him, Danika. You got it.
Danika has pretty much controlled this playing field, keeping them slowed. So what you got left?
Danika's gonna scoot up that one spot, and she is going to use her rapier to attack. Does a 13 hit?
A 13 does hit.
And it does 9 piercing damage.
I'm going to give you this one. It had 10 hit points left. So tell us, Danika, how does this look?
Danika's gonna kind of look at it, its gooping, split in half body, and she's gonna spy, do mimics have a heart? She's gonna spy its beating heart and just stab it with her rapier, and just a swift, clean cut.
And with that last stab with your rapier, the mimic seems to wiggle and cry out one last time before just oozing its way down to the ground, dead.
Gross.
Yay!
And you are out of combat. Irina seems to be just dusting off her hands a little bit, and Davos behind her kind of calls out, "Why did it not work that time?"
Well, maybe I'll let you borrow my old book and you can study the formula a little bit more.
He kind of grins at you at that suggestion. I would like to do that. Yes, that would be. I want to learn magic too.
Yeah. I think we can work on that. For sure. Delphine literally is going through her brain of just like writing down this cantrip formula just to teach us kid how to use magic.
Great. Now he's going to be doing it to everybody. Just pew, pew.
Probably. But now that the mimics are dead, the back garden is much more peaceful. So, unfortunately, mimics don't really carry any loot or anything like that. But what do you want to do?
Check out this skeleton. Do these boots look like they would fit Danika?
Investigation check.
I mean, Cog will be looking at the mimics, taking notes, seeing if they're different from the ones in La Ropa, and just going full Conclave nerd mode.
Sure, give me a Conclave nerd mode check.
Would that be would that be investigation for him? Or?
Yeah, you can use investigation if you like, if you have another skill.
Investigation, history.
Mm-hmm.
I got he's got advantage of bow, or proficiency in bow, so... Ooh, that one's not good. Now, since he's a Conclave member, could he possibly get advantage on that?
Not on this one, no.
God damn it!
You can't pull that card every single time, buddy.
It's the one as a researcher, that's the one thing that he really hates.
Yeah, but
that's all
I know, but it doesn't work every single time. And in this instance, honestly, with your 9, as much as you kind of look them over, they seem pretty much the same. There's no real distinct differences. Although you yourself have never seen a juvenile mimic before. So no doubt that is fascinating. And you can spend some time taking as many notes as you want about what they look like and their, dead, frizzled, blown up corpses and all that. Now, Delphine, with your 12, you kind of dig down into... the skeleton is half in dirt and plant matter and that sort of thing. So you kind of start digging down through it. And you do pull out a pair of boots. Hold on 1 second. The boots themselves... it's kind of surprising that they're actually in a fairly decent shape. Like, they're dirty, of course. They're caked in mud and grime of the forest. But as you're brushing away the debris and, kind of emptying them out and emptying out the bones...
Prestidigitation.
Yeah, and casting prestidigitation, you notice that they're pristine. The leather is... in perfect quality, and with a bit of polishing, they'd be very functional.
Danika, these boots are really nice, very high quality.
Well, don't mind if I do. Danika will walk over and she'll examine the boots and she'll give them an old try on, looking sadly at her old boot while giving them a good try.
Okay, you kind of take off your boots that's been kind of smelly and nasty for a while, and as you place them on your feet, they seem to just meld to them, as though they're just made for your feet.
Oh no, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing?
That means they're a magic item.
Oh, I guess I should have cast Identify. Oops.
She hasn't attuned. We got
This
some
is
time.
my boot. It was made for me.
Go ahead, one more person, give me an investigation check as you're all just kind of hanging out around this area.
Sorry, I don't just have detect magic on all of the time. I should, but I don't.
Nice.
I was just say cog.
I got a 21.
Nice.
So, Danika, as you're sitting on the ground pulling on your boots, you kind of glance back at the skeleton that's been half unearthed, and you notice that under some of the leaves and plant matter around the thing's arms, there's a pair of bracers as well, and it seems like there's something beyond that, almost as though the skeletal hand is holding something underneath the brush.
Oh. Well, y'all, there's something underneath the brush. Let's move this guy.
Okay. I pick it up and I move him.
The two other items that you find is a longbow made out of horn. It unfortunately does not have a string attached to it. It doesn't have a bowstring on it. But the bow itself, like I said, it's made out of horn. It has a wrapped leather handle, and it looks serviceable. The bracers is what's around the arms of the skeleton. There's a pair of bracers made out of leather that Delphine cleans up with prestidigitation as well. And sure enough, they look fairly serviceable as well. There's a bit of an engraving along the thing, an engraving of a bow with an arrow pulled back in it.
Is this anything that we recognize?
I mean,
The
like I
player
said,
knows.
yeah, like I said, it's just a pulled back bow with an arrow. It's just an engraving on the bracers.
I'm gonna cast Identify.
It's as if they're bracers of archery.
Archery.
Yep, yeah, that's exactly what they are.
Danika's gonna kind of lean over. Can you identify my boots too?
Sure. I'll take another 10 minutes to identify Danika's boots as well.
Yeah. It shouldn't come as a surprise to you that what they are the boots of elven kind.
Okay.
You get magic boots only because your boots are pooped.
I got them from my best friend Delphine, okay?
So I will give you the cards.
I'm sure those bracers would go to Vide, I think. Because they shoot a gun.
You get +2 to your damage.
Yes. But it's only with the long bows and the
gonna
short
say-
bows.
Oh.
It specifically says...
such weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anybody else has a longbow or short bow,
Well, there is
Or
a
one
longbow
spear.
there.
Why can't Irina, maybe?
They're just gonna give magic weapons to NPCs now. Okay.
I mean, what are we gonna do with it?
Well, I mean, we
It's
have the
bigger than
bracers that
cog.
They'll
My-
give somebody a proficiency with the bow, but if it's not operational because it doesn't have a string, we still need to figure that out.
Well, it could end up being one of those ones that doesn't need a string.
Ooh.
I'll cast You know what? I'm just gonna detect magic, so I can pick up all of the magic things that I need to identify.
The bow itself is not magical, unfortunately.
I mean, how hard could it be to string a bow?
I mean, not
Well,
very.
the both taller than me, so I mean, it'd be very difficult.
I mean, I've never done it before, but I mean, I could certainly try.
I think I'd
Well, we need to find the appropriate materials for the string.
Irina speaks up and says, "Well, I have myself has never made a bowstring. My brother had made one many times. He was an accomplished archer. Typically, he would make it with sinew from venison. He would wrap it and twist it and make it into the twine, and then loop out either side and let it dry on the bow, and it would create the bowstring."
We'll have to hang on to it, keep that in mind.
And yeah, that's actually how they make bowstrings back then. But with these discoveries made, you only spend probably about 30 or so minutes doing this. So you still have about an hour and a half or so before dark if there's anything else you want to try to accomplish.
You want to go search for those bones?
I mean, we can attempt it.
I'm guessing these are not the bones we were searching for?
No, he said they were down by the bank. When we came in, those... Yeah.
One of them's his boy.
Okay, sorry, I'm having a hard time concentrating.
It's okay, Vide. We know when Urzak's around, it's hard.
Oh, double entendre there. There we go.
Wow.
God damn it.
I love this game.
Yeah, I suppose we can go look for the boy's remains. That'd be nice to be able to give that father in there some respite.
Right.
Okay. So where y'all head?
Back to the bank where we saw the bones when we came in.
Well, you did see the stakes that the mayor had been, impaled on. So
Remains have probably fallen off them at this point.
Yeah, but we can go back to the area and take a look, at least for a little bit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If not, we'll come back in the morning.
Okay. You begin making your way north, around the ruins of the manor house. You do eventually spot that pen of goats that are just sitting there, going ba ba, kind of pitifully and mournfully on the other side of the pen. You make your way past that, and continuing north, it does take you a little ways, but you do spot up towards the embankment going around the hill that there are those old fence posts that had been, they're jagged and pointed at the top. The top half of them stained dark with what appears to be very ancient blood. Go ahead and make an investigation for me, somebody. Since you're all working together, you can have advantage at this.
I'm gonna cast guidance on myself.
Go ahead, Delphine.
Okay, you said advantage. 27.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, with that 27, you can very clearly see it. It's in the dirt. It's like half buried under leaves and grass. There's like a few arm bones. There's the top of the skull with one of the sockets stuck out of it. It is buried, half buried in the dirt, but you can clearly see parts of a skeleton there. I don't suppose anybody actually has a shovel, do they?
I think I took the priest's pack, so I don't think mine had a shovel in it.
If we think that these are the bones, I mean, I could.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Hold on, let me just double check.
Yeah, I took the priest's pack, so mine doesn't have that.
I don't have a shovel, but in the morning I can take a little bit of time either tonight or in the morning, and I can change up one of my cantrips and see what I can do with some mold earth.
Seems like maybe our quickest option at the moment.
But at least we know where they are right now.
Well, we know where some bones are right now. At least.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Are we stopping for the day, taking a rest?
It's basically nighttime, so probably should. I don't think we should be dealing with the hag at night.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I can set up a tiny hut for us in the ruins of the manor, or off in another corner somewhere. We'll have a safe place to rest.
Is there a problem with just plopping down right here where we are?
The hags that are chasing us?
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense.
I mean, technically inside the hut we should be invisible, but I don't know how these hags work.
It's true. Yeah, let's go back to the manor then, I suppose.
Okay. With the bones at least discovered, you all make your way back down towards the manor house. It is, like I said, little more than a ruin. There's no real roof or anything like that. It was once 3 stories, so there's like some remains of upper floors that does block off certain areas from the elements in different ways. Honestly, one of the better rooms to do so is this main area here to the eastern side of the ruins, where that large fireplace is. It at least has a solid wall. There are 3 of the sides, though there are some gaps. The ceiling, or at least the floor above you, is mostly intact, providing a little bit of cover as well. So, unless you want to do a more thorough search of the area, this seems like at least somewhat enclosed of an area.
This will be good enough. And then I'll take the 11 minutes to start casting Tiny Hut.
Okay. Well, since it does take 11 minutes for Delphine to cast her Tiny Hut, is there any preparations you all make beyond, making dinner? It is cold, I will point out. More than half of you had swum in a river not more than a few hours ago, and the later it gets, the more chill the air becomes. Even though you do have some walls around you, there are still gaps in the walls and still gaps in the area in the ceiling, that it's not like a perfect cover, And that wind is sharp. So with that in mind, is there any preparations you all make while Delphine is prepping for her tiny hut?
No? I mean, I suppose we could try and make a little fire in the fireplace, but it's kind of a bad idea. Make a fire because it stands out.
Can we make something just in the hut for temporarily to warm it up inside?
The hut should be
dry inside, regardless of weather outside. But
yeah,
player knows that. I'm sure Cog might know that too. But...
Yeah, so at least once the hut's set up, you'll have some warmth. I'm just asking, like, are you planning on doing anything else? Like, are you building a fire, making a hot meal, changing out of your wet things?
That's fair.
I mean, we shouldn't be wet because Danika and I prestidigitation to everybody when we got out.
Well, okay, that is fair. So maybe you wouldn't be wet by this point, but it's still cold.
Well, I'll put on some extra layers.
Do you have extra layers?
I do. I actually have 2 costumes that I brought with me.
We could always wrap up in bedrolls if anybody's really that cold.
Yeah, it's true. I have a bedroll too.
I do remember Davos has his bedroll that he has wrapped around him as well. I was just asking if there's any other prep you wanted to do, or is there anything anyone plans on doing before settling in for their long rest? Because it's only about 11 minutes to cast the hut, so it's not going to take too long. Beyond setting watch, which we will get to in a moment, is there anything anybody wants to do before you all head off to bed for the night?
Once the hut is up and everybody is kind of settled, I would like to take some mundane paper and ink, not the magical kind, and help teach Davos how to copy the, maybe not firebolt, but copy a cantrip. We'll start with something easy. We'll start with like Druidcraft. Something that's not going to be super harmful to practice with. Yeah. Hey, at least he's not going to shoot us with fire on accident.
Start leaving a trail of flowers everywhere. Everybody will know where we are.
Well, good news is that it takes a long time to learn magic. It's not like something a 5-year-old is going to pick up in an hour. So, yeah, unless
secret prodigy.
Unless he's
he wasn't Davos was never a 5-year-old this whole time.
Yes, he's a mimic in disguise.
Strahd in disguise.
He's actually an adult halfling.
Hey.
Well, you guys
Cog would know. Cog would know.
You hope. What I would like you to do, Delphine, is make an Arcana check for me.
Yeah, I rolled natural 1, 9. My heart's not really in it tonight.
Yeah, it really isn't.
It was really just a thing to keep him busy.
Well, good news is that with his 18... The good news is that with that 18, he was paying attention to every word you said as you're writing things down. Just your heart wasn't in it, or your mind wasn't in it, or you know, there's other shit going on with you, missing HP and all of that. That it's probably difficult to teach this overly energetic little 5-year-old. But the night does wear on, and unless there's anything anybody else would like to do before we get to our watch.
I would.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to kind of examine like the cellar, and kind of see if I can move around some of the rocks to maybe uncover anything.
Fair. Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
I'll help you clear some of those rocks and give you the help action.
I cannot leave the hut or else it goes away. So I'm kind of stuck in here the rest of the night.
That would be very kind. I would appreciate that.
If that's okay.
Did my Roll20 is glitching and I can't see our screen anymore? Did any of my thing pop up when I...
I got your 10 investigation, but that's about it.
Okay, I didn't see that. Hold on. So I'm reloading Roll20. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I did do a 10 investigation. Do I get to do it twice since he's helping?
Yeah, or each of you can roll separately. I'm fine with that as well.
You have a better investigation bonus than I do. You can
Do I?
go ahead and take it.
Okay, let me find my Danika sheet. Wherever you're at. This is a slow process. Investigation. Okay, did that work? Are we good?
Nice. With your 19, you can see that it would probably take with Urzak and you and possibly recruiting Vide as well, it would probably take the three of you an hour to dig out the stairwell down to the lower area. It wouldn't be too difficult with everyone working together. It'll just take, a bit of effort.
I vote to put in this effort.
We do that.
Okay. Well, give me athletics check at advantage for the three of you working together.
I got it.
Okay.
25.
Yes.
It must be kind of boring for Delphine, sitting there in that dome by herself with Davos and Corwan while everybody else is out there in the stairwell for the next hour, pulling out rocks and brush and debris and loose cobblestone and to clear out this passage. Some of it's kind of big. Some of it's a bit smaller. You don't have a lot of tools to work with, but after about an hour or so, you clear open a space that you would be able to squeeze one at a time. Well, not Urzak. It would take a little longer to dig out for Urzak to get through, as big as he is. But the two of you, Vide and Danika, are skinny enough that you would be able to wiggle down into it to get into a lower chamber that you can see. Vide, shines his torch down there and kind of gets a little bit of a look. And you can see that down the stairwell leads to, it looks kind of like a storage cellar, maybe. Stone on the walls from what you can see, but the lower area, the ground itself, is covered in dark, kind of dirty looking water.
Well, I finally just got dry, so should we save this for the morning to explore?
Yeah, it's probably a problem for later. I'm still pretty tired.
Okay. well, you all then, I suppose, head into the hut to, get yourselves comfortable, finish off a meal before heading off to bed. What is going to be the watch order for this evening?
I would like to go first.
I can take like first and second.
Can I have somebody who does not have dark vision with me?
Who does not?
Yeah, well, I have dark vision, so if are we going to have a light? Will we have a light? I just want to make sure we're prepared.
Well,
I mean, I don't have
Cog
dark
doesn't
vision.
have dark vision if you want.
Okay.
Vide doesn't either, I don't think, do you?
No, I don't.
Perfect.
So, Danika, you could take... Vide had already said that he would take the first 2 watches, so you could take the first watch with him. If
That's
you
fine.
want. Okay. Then who's going to be... Is anyone going to take second watch with Vide? Someone who does have dark vision.
I will. I'll take second watch.
Okay. Take second watch with Vide. Who is taking third watch?
I suppose.
Okay.
Cog can take the last one, even though he doesn't have dark vision. Maybe Cog and
And Irina again.
yeah, of course.
Irina kind of chuckles at that and says, "The 2 of us without the dark vision. That seems fitting."
Well, inside here, I don't know if it really matters. Dear, we'll be okay.
Fair enough. Well, with that in mind, Vide and Danika, the 2 of you settle in to take the first watch, while everybody else tries to find a comfortable place within, what is it, like a 10-foot radius? The hut?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of space to spread out, but at least a little bit. It's kind of just a big old cuddle puddle. But you all make your way, try to get whatever comfortable spot you can, while Vide and Danika take first watch. So Vide and Danika, I would like the 2 of you to make perception checks.
$14.
Yeah, that's an 8.
Okay. I'm missing something. Give me a second. Okay. Your first 2 hours of watch goes by relatively quiet. You do see the ghost of Ulrich, the mayor, fade in at one point, kind of examine the dome that... I never did ask Delphine, what did you make the dome look like? Because you can change the appearance a little bit.
I mean, it just looks like it's... The outside just looks like its surroundings. So it just looks like... Not like an extra wall, but just like another... rubble area.
Okay.
Where, the walls might have caved in and might have piled up a little bit. But, inconspicuously.
Gotcha. Okay. Interesting. So, the ghost kind of appears a little bit, seems to look at it just a bit, and then drift off and fade away. Now, while that's going on... So, while that's going on, Delphine and Urzak, I need each of you to make for me wisdom saving throws.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
24.
17.
And Corwan, I need you to as well.
Where's my thing? Oof. That's not good. Oh, well, you know what? It is a 1. I didn't mean to do it at advantage. I guess if you want to take the 12 as me re-rolling the 1 for the halfling.
Yeah, I'm
Halfling
fine
monk.
with that.
I guess, is this against being scared? Was this that thing?
No.
Right, okay.
No, it has
Damn
nothing
it.
to do with that, unfortunately. Okay. Delphine and Urzak, your dreams for those first 2 hours, you barely get, honestly, you don't even get to dreamland. You kind of hit that REM point a little bit, but you've managed to kind of work past it just a little bit. Corwan, on the other hand, Vide and Danika, after about an hour or so into your watch, you kind of hear a whimper. And then a little bit more, you kind of notice that Corwan is, rolling back and forth, thrashing a little bit as Corwan. The dreams you have are horrifying. You are in the Conclave, trying to do research while the world around you is shattering. People are running, screaming, ripping their skin in anguish, pawing at their eyes. You're reliving the breaking, but it is a horrific version of those events. You are thrashing wildly back and forth, crying out more and more in terror, to the point that, Vide, by the end of your first 2 hours of watch, you feel like you need to go and wake him up. Because he seems to be just having the worst nightmare.
I'll go over and place my hand on his shoulder and kind of gently shake him awake.
Oh, God. They were tearing pages out of the books. Oh, my God. Oh, how could you destroy a library book? Oh, that's what he's going to take. He's terrified, obviously, but this is how he's rationalizing it. He's like, oh, they were destroying the books. They were getting blood all over him. Terrible. He's clearly scared shitless, but this is how he's kind of trying to steel himself and not show his true fear.
I also need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, wonderful. That would be a 17. That's... Go ahead.
Well, good news is that you did not wake up exhausted when you were shaken awake by Vide and Danika. However, that does remind me that Urzak still has a point of exhaustion. Has been for a bit. But anyway, yeah, that was just horrifying. What do you do?
I guess is it his turn for a watch, potentially?
Well, it wasn't.
that the first
you were gonna.
watch?
Yeah, that was just the first watch.
I mean, since there's probably no way he's going back to sleep now. I mean, he'll stay up for this one. And then he would just, I guess Irena's just gonna have to do it on her own. But see, I mean, I doubt he's gonna get back to sleep, and then I guess is Vide taking the second watch too, or was somebody else gonna take a second watch?
Vide was going to
Vide.
take the second watch.
Alone?
And me.
Yeah, with Delphine.
Oh, the second one as well, or just the first one?
I'm gonna take 2 watches.
Well, I know you. Is Delphine gonna take
No,
two?
Danika took the first watch.
Oh, okay, Delphine. All right. Well, you know what? He won't wake up Delphine, and he'd be like, all right, you know what? We'll trade, and he'll stay up with Vide for the second watch, since there's no way he's got to have some time to decompress after that.
Fair enough. Well, as the two of you settle in for the second part of your watch, go ahead and give me perception checks.
That's a
Where is perception? I guess 17, or if you want to let him do his guidance for himself, 20.
I'm fine with that. With your 20, you're sitting there watching, looking out into the darkness and gloom. At first, you don't really see anything. Neither of you have dark vision. I doubt you have your torch on, really, either. So it's just kind of pitch black. However, you can hear a bit of a sound. At first, it's faint, but the second time, it's quite a bit louder. The sound of wolves howling.
Peaceful night, huh, Vide? Didn't hear anything at all. What about you? God, that wind is howling, isn't it? Jesus. This is opaque, right? And he's like,
Yeah,
can't see.
you can see outside. They
But
can't.
they can't see in. Yeah, that's what he's like. He's just like, yeah, nothing can see inside. Is it getting closer, or is it still kind of in the distance?
It's definitely closer. And with that 20, as you sit there for another 10, 15 minutes, you start hearing a little scraping at the dirt. You hear a little... It takes a while because, it is pitch black out. There is no stars. There is no moon in the sky. But your eyes are at least a little bit adjusted to the gloom. And there is a tiny bit of ambient light out there. Not a whole hell of a lot, but a tiny bit. And you can see that there is one of the largest wolves you've ever seen padding up to the dome.
The hut is dimly lit on the inside.
It is dimly lit on the inside, so you would at least be able to see like maybe 10 feet around on the outside of it, maybe, or maybe about 5 feet, a little bit, let's say. So you can see the thing pad up to the dome, kind of sniffing at the ground. It begins walking around one side as a second wolf begins to walk up as well, following the first but then begins to circle around the dome on the other side. What do you all do?
Be very, very quiet.
I mean, they can't get in.
I was gonna say, is there a spell? No.
You can't cast spells in or out of the
I know,
dome.
I was supposed I mean, there's nothing well, I mean, there is. Well, I mean, you can cast them inside. You just can't pass through the dome.
They kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
they continue to
very
circle.
quiet. He'd probably start rough sketching in his book with the light he could see, kind of like just the sheer size of the thing. And
The two wolves sit. Just sit, like a wolf sits. Holds their head up, and as one, howl once again. These things are huge, double the size of a regular wolf, shaggy and hairy with broad shoulders. But those shoulders have nothing on the next individual that steps forward.
God damn it.
The individual that steps forward is tall, taller than Urzak. He has a long, dark cape draped about his shoulders. He holds a hand aloft, and a blue flame flickers in it, casting a small bit of illumination around a gaunt face, lined with age. Jet black hair sweeping down from a severe widow's peak across his shoulders. Underneath the cloak, he seems to be wearing just a simple white tunic, slightly unlaced, and simple trousers with thick boots on his feet. He has a long sword on a sword belt around his waist, but other than that, he seems nonchalant as he examines the dome you are all in. And almost with a flick of a dismissive hand, the dome disappears as he casts Dispel Magic. And that's where we're going to go on break. Fuck. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes, folks. And we're going to see what happens next. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Here's how things are going for our Conclave Expedition. They were taking a long rest, safe underneath Delphine's tiny hut. But who walks up towards the end of the halfway point in their sleep? A pair of wolves and Strahd von Zurovich, who very dismissively dispels the hut, while Vide and Cog very quickly starts shaking everybody else who are currently snoring on the ground. So, as you all become to alertfulness and look up to see a 7-foot-tall gaunt man holding a blue ball of flame in his hand and staring down at you with just a look of disdain, what do you all do?
I guess instinctually just reach for my axe.
Buddy, I don't know about that one.
Not intending to do anything.
He didn't mean
rash
that,
or
sir. He
immediate.
didn't mean that.
But
He apologizes. Looking over it, he's like, put it down.
Is there a small smirk in the corner of his lips? It's difficult to tell. But as he's looking at you all, you can also see that behind him, bathed in that same light, there is another individual, keeping to the shadows towards the back. Should go ahead and put out a little bit of a flame radius on Strahd. I'll do that real quick.
You could use my torch right there. 'Cause that would have long burned up.
It would have, it is true. But Strahd is looking down at you all. And as you're kind of sputtering a little bit, trying to apologize for Urzak as he's reaching for his weapon. Strahd holds up a hand. And as he's looking down at you, he says, Conclave Expedition. You find yourself in strange lodgings this evening. Are you here for shelter? No. I think not. But waiting, perhaps. Waiting for the Lysaga to return. How unfortunate for you, her business is elsewhere this evening. Those fools at the winery. He shrugs, ending that sentence. And yet here is where I found you. Are you perhaps planning to steal into her hut before she returns?
I thought she's gone.
We already know the thieves that you are. Why else would you be here now? Does anybody say anything?
I'm trying to think.
Thieves a strong word. I mean, I'd beg to disagree, but,
Oh, Goodwood. I see the piece of property lying right there next to you.
yeah, I didn't want him sleeping next to me, but, you know, I don't really believe you can sell children as property, sir.
Your beliefs are irrelevant. Regardless of your simplistic views of the world, it is my law that reigns here, halfling. The law of Strahd von Zarovich. And as I told you, we would eventually revisit the topic of your thievery. He looks to Davos once again, who is huddling underneath his bedroll, pulled up over his head. Irina is also on the ground. She's kind of sat up at this point and is scooting back a little bit away from Strahd. And this motion catches his attention. And he looks down at her, but then looks away. Back at the huddling child. He says to you all, you should know by now my punishment for thieves. I left a message to inform you of my penalties when you first arrived in my lands. And my edicts do not change. But in light of our current company, I am inclined to be merciful. He snaps his fingers, and as he does so, the blanket that Davos is huddling underneath is pulled away by almost an invisible hand. Strahd seems to take a moment to examine the child. Does anybody say anything before he continues?
Not being violent towards him, right?
No, he just used Mage Hand to pull the blanket up. And he seems to be looking the child over.
No.
Not yet, but if he actually touches the kid, I'm gonna Vortex warp him out. The kid, not Strahd.
Mm-hmm. After a moment's pause, Strahd's eyes goes back to you, Cog, since you're the one who's talking to him. He says, the child appears to be in good health. Much rounder than he was a few days ago, by my eye. The women will be pleased. What was that?
He was going to say, he goes, well, that's not for him trying, though. I mean, good God, I've never had children myself, sir. But, oh my lord, can this what? They are difficult little creatures. Did you know that? They just get into everything, and they don't keep their mouths shut. And he looks over at Davos. He's just kind of having almost a dad-to-dad moment with Strahd, even though he's not an actual father. It's just like, I mean, he's tried to hurt himself several times, but we've made sure that doesn't happen.
Then it will be a relief to return him. So, relinquish the child into my care, and I shall see him delivered to his proper owners. And at the Morgan's request, this matter will be closed. They seem to have satisfied themselves for the moment.
Oh no, they didn't kill Toby, did they? Oh, that would just be terrible.
He just blithely looks at you.
Not the joking type, I see. Alright. Can I ask, I have a feeling I know the answer, but what is going to happen to the boy?
It's hardly your concern, and even less my interest. However, I do recognize the loss on your little expedition. And so I will return something you are missing as well. Well, in more or less the shape that I found it.
I think I know who the creature in the corner is. Damn it.
Oh no!
The lesser's probably a little bit lesser by this point.
You want to make a perception check? Can you actually see him? I can't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the corner.
Ah, darn. I wanted him to be just out of vision shot, but oh well.
I mean, I'll do that.
Yeah, give me
He
a
was
perception
just
check.
out of vision until you switched the light to Strahd.
18 or 21 if you're willing to get. I'd figure 18.
Yeah, you're not getting guidance on that one, but an 18's enough. The shoulders are broad. What is remaining of the hair is blonde. It looks not great. The throat has been slit. It's hanging jagged and open, and the shirt is of fine quality but covered in blood. One arm hangs limply to one side, just kind of swaying a little bit, almost as though it's been broken in several places. And as he's standing there, you kind of look down at his feet and notice that one of the ankles had been broken as well, and he's kind of just shambling a little bit as it stands there trying to remain upright. You can easily recognize the form and features of one Ismark the Lesser.
Much lesser now.
Quite a bit lesser now.
Going to some real bind here, sir. Let me ask you your law, the word, the law of the land. They operate out of that windmill, correct? Would that be an assertion you can answer, sir?
He nods his head in agreement.
Would that happen to be the same windmill that was owned by the same family that owned that lodging that you left your gift to us, your warning?
He has to make a history check on that one. He kind of chuckles a little bit as you notice that he seems to be remembering. Was it at one point? I suppose so. Why do you ask?
Well, you see, when we went into that inn, that lodging, we met, I guess they were the apparitions or the former children of the owners of that lodging, and they happened to give us, we came into possession of deeds of not only that building, but of that windmill. Now, I'm just asking, sir, would that not mean, since they passed those on to us, we are the owners of those deeds, we would be the owners of that windmill, and therefore the objects within the windmill?
Make a persuasion check.
Gotta get back to... Oh, that's not a good one. That's a 9.
Strahd says, not necessarily. Although things are purchased occasionally, everything inevitably is owned by me.
You, sir. Yes.
While you might have a document or a gift from a ghost, possession is also a strong indication of law. Long-term possession.
Yeah.
Short-term.
There. Yeah, that's a good one. You're sneaky, sir. I was gonna say, you said possession. I was like, oh wait, we possess the boy, but you brought me threw me for a rope, sir.
If, however, you wish to attempt to evict said individuals from the premises, well,
you'd be okay with that?
why would I care?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I mean they seem to be subordinates of you, sir. I mean, I'm not here.
Everyone
is a
in
subordinate of
Barovia,
you, yes.
including you. Make no mistake here, Goodwood.
Oh, I am not, sir.
Any and all who stepped into these lands are mine.
It really wasn't our intention to come to your lands either, by the way. I just want to let you know that. We were kind of brought here against our will. But I get what you're saying.
At that, he shrugs and he says, the mists do as they will.
So what you're saying is now, you take the boy now, I guess transport him there. Do you have a time frame of when he would become a tasty treat, so to speak? Or are you giving us time to evict the owner? Huh?
This conversation is beginning to bore me.
I'm just trying to find out, sir. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm not trying to take up your time. You are clearly a very powerful being. This land is yours, and I would not deed myself worthy of interrupting your process, sir. It wasn't our intention. We saw a child in need, and it is from where we are from, we assist such things. I'm sure you've been out. Have you been outside of Barovia before?
Now,
You ever been to Europa?
as you're saying this, we've kind of been going back and forth for a little while. I want to open things up to everybody else. Is anybody doing anything while this conversation has been going on?
I'm just keeping an eye on Davos. Getting prepared to cast a spell if I need to.
Yeah, Urzak has Go ahead.
Delphine should not be talking right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
Urzak has a death grip on his axe and is just staring down Strahd, not saying anything. He's been told not to move.
Yeah, that's
So-
right. You do as you're told.
Vide, Danika?
He just has like his hand on his gun. He doesn't have it drawn, but he's ready.
Okay.
Danika. Can Danika? Well, Danika's gonna slowly make her way a little bit in front of. Oh my goodness, what's her name? I'm blanking.
Irina.
Irina. Thank you so much. A little bit closer, a very, very slow pace, moving her way up to Corwan.
Okay, you're making your way up to Corwan. Doing anything else beyond that?
I think her hand might be like on her sword, but she's not like ready to fight just yet. She's really kind of just thinking about the situation and how to proceed very, very carefully.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, at the question, has he been outside of
Barovia? Yes. And he asked about Loropa in particular.
Strahd replies to you. Actually, I want a persuasion check from you before he responds.
Yeah!
Nice.
It means nothing, but yeah! 21.
Well, with your 21, Strahd says, I have not heard of your Loropa before. But it would be interesting to hear more.
Oh.
Unfortunately, tonight, my business is elsewhere. And you have reacquaintances to make and goodbyes to give. And I think it is time to part. But I think I would enjoy having you all up to the castle for dinner.
God, he's just a little scared. He's like, "Oh, wow. I would actually kind of like that. I would love to pick your brain, sir. I mean, you seem like a fascinating subject to maybe do a series of interviews with and write a series of books." Yeah, he's like forgetting who he's talking to for a second. He's like, yeah, this. I mean, this. Yeah, I mean, he's just kind of like making notes. He's like, dinner with Strahd. He's getting all. He's like, oh, as soon as he writes Strahd, he's like, oh, yeah. Still want to do it though.
Strahd smirks at this and says, I'm sure I would enjoy hearing about your Loropa as well. I will send an invitation soon. But for now, and then he turns and looks directly at Davos. And as he does, anyone with a passive perception over 14 would be able to see a yellowish sort of shine hit Strahd's eyes, almost the way like light hits a cat's eyes, and then there's that yellowish reflection in them. You see that for one moment as he looks directly at Davos.
Would we know what that is? Oh my god.
Strahd says, Davos, it is time to leave. And you hear...
My microphone was muted. Was this magic?
No. It isn't.
A wisdom saving throw.
Vortex warp.
Counterspell.
Vortex warp.
Counterspell.
Vortex warp.
Sorry. That doesn't... Sorry. He counterspells.
I'm gonna use all my spell slots. It's okay.
I mean,
I'm guessing
we can go ahead and roll initiative if you want to. That's fine.
I'm guessing we're calling this out, right? Like, you have to say these
So
things.
here's what's going to happen is...
It is somatic. You can tell I am casting a spell.
Yes, it is very clear he has excellent passive perception. He would see her cast a spell. He would counterspell it immediately. As he says, Davos, it's time to leave. You see the boy beginning to stand up. So now we're going to have to roll initiative to see who goes first and what happens beyond this point. If you're just going to keep trying to cast spells at Strahd or the kid. I mean, we're not necessarily in combat unless you specifically attack Strahd or these wolves. But if we're going to start trying to keep them away, we have to get into turn order. So let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Great. A 5. Shit. Everybody's ruining Cog's work. Cog had a plan.
Well, Cog didn't share said plan, so...
Well, because there was talking. He didn't go, oh my god. Ismark the Lesser Zombie.
so mean.
Matthew!
You got me fucked up.
Oh, come
Well,
on.
you should have known Delphine. Delphine has been saving this kid, so you knew this was going to happen if you tried to take him.
Yeah, no, I expected it to be something. It just, I was waiting for the point to call for initiative.
Cog was hoping to get a speech off, but well, I guess when it comes to his turn, dead last.
Oh, we'll see what happens.
Oh no, one of the wolves goes after me. I'm good. Not last.
Okay. Got everybody in turn order. And actually, the first person to react is Danika.
Oh shit.
You can also just choose to hold your action or postpone your turn if you prefer to.
Danika is going to try to talk to Strahd.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let me get my best Danika voice. Count Strahd, you said that you're the ruler of the land, and you said that we all belong to you. So that being said, Davos was never the ladies to belong with. By our hands, Davos left their hands. So shouldn't, by their hands, he go back to their hands? You're the ruler of the land. Why are you out retrieving him for them?
Okay, make a persuasion check.
$24.
Strahd is going to take a moment to reply by saying that the complexities of economy are not something I am intending on discussing at this point. While your words have some merit to them, the reality is I am here by choice. And when he says that, you get the sense that he put intonation on that, like he's trying to convey something to you.
Like it echoed, choice, you know, and it really,
yeah, a little bit.
Oh my god, I don't know what to say back. I'm not as eloquent as you guys.
Well, that was an action. If you'd like, I will allow you to use your bonus action to try to make an insight check and pick up what it is he's trying to put down.
Okay, I want to insight check so I know what he's putting down. I have a 6.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're not sure. Like, you're just dumbfounded at that fact. What? He's doing this by choice? What the hell does he mean?
That's exactly what she's thinking. Like, isn't every choice his choice?
Next is Irina, who's kind of looking panicked right now. She's not sure what really she should do. She kind of glances over to Delphine and Urzak, and she can't really get to Davos. He's kind of out of the way. But there is that wolf over there. She's going to put her back to Danika and at least have her sword out and at the ready in case those wolves attack. Next up is Strahd. Strahd, for his part, simply folds his arms. Now, Davos, it is time to go. Be grateful, you all. Especially you, little Fae. He looks at you, Delphine.
Oh.
Do not take indulgence for weakness. It will be your undoing. And he is simply going to hold an action and wait for Davos to come over to him. Delphine.
You already know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna vortex warp the kid.
Okay. You vortex warp the kid. What level spell is this?
Second level.
Second level. So you've used one so far.
This is my second one. I got one more. Now I've got a third level.
Nice. You cast vortex warp, and it really shouldn't surprise you that Strahd counterspells it.
Fine. It's the attempt that counts.
It is.
Not the success.
It is. That was your action. You do technically still have a bonus action and movement if you would like to use it.
I'll just use a bonus action to go in my blade song. Just, a little extra protection in case, I piss this guy off and they do attack.
Fair. Okay. At the end of your turn, you see Strahd move with at a blink of an eye, standing right next to Davos. He looks down at the boy, holds out his hand, and says, "Enough of this. It is time to go." At the end of that turn, next is the dire wolf. The dire wolf moves towards you, Cog, growling menacingly, the wolf there. Davos, on his turn, holds his hands up, and Strahd picks him up. He is holding Davos now. That was his held action. Vide, you're up.
I mean, I'm certainly not going to be the first one to make an attack, so I'm holding action.
Urzak.
I think Urzak is also holding action. He's paralyzed by indecision here. Like, he knows everything in his being is telling him, like, don't let this happen. Do what you're supposed to do and, like, fight this guy. But he also knows, like, this is not a fight that's, like, even possible. And, Cog and Danika have, done their best to talk our way out of this. And that even is, as much as we've gained, we're not getting out of this without losing Davos. So he's wrestling in his mind, trying to figure out what to do and not coming to any conclusion.
At the end of that turn, Strahd's zombie, the Ismark, it's not Strahd zombie, it's Ismark. Why does it say that? It's weird. Ismark Ismark begins moving forward. 5, 10, 15, 20. Uses his action to dash. 5, 10. Comes walking around that bit of wall that's kind of half there. It's only like 2 feet tall. And seems to be... Actually, no, since he can see over that, I think he would be moving towards Irina. That makes more sense. He moves towards Irina, one arm out, the other dangling there, but he had to use a movement and action to get there. So he cannot do anything else. Irina was holding her action, but she's looking at her brother there, a zombie, and she just cries out this deep sob. Ismark, no! This happened to you. And then she turns at Strahd. Why, Strahd? Why would you do this to my brother? Strahd coldly looks at the young woman as he holds Davos. He says, "'Twas not by my hand, but by those of your village, who in their fear took it out on your brother, while you and your friends left him there. You know what this land does to those who die. Lay not the blame at my feet." And then he glances over at you, Corwan, and he says, "Also, I have better things to do than play with your spells."
My spell? What? What did I do?
Oh,
Urzak knows what I'm talking about. It is your turn, Corwan.
I don't remember what he's talking about.
Last session, you tried to make a bouquet and it failed. It made ugly-looking spindly things, and then you were yelling at Strahd.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Alright, he's gonna kind of give the wolf a look and be like, growl back at him. Just step forward and stand in front of Strahd, turn around, and face the group. So it's almost like he's protecting Strahd. He's not, clearly. And he's just gonna kind of stand there. He goes, "Now I know this is not a situation any of you want to be in." He's like, "I don't know how many of you truly remember the breaking, but there are things in this world that you just cannot stop at every turn. This is not a fight we can win now." And you heard what he said. He's kind of pointing up. He looks over his shoulder. He looks at you. You heard what he said. We can go and we can claim possession of this boy. And we can kill that coven of hags. And that'll be cool with you, right? And he's looking over his shoulder. He's like, "You said that."
He gives you an indifferent shrug.
I'm going to take that to mean yes, sir. Still want that interview and that dinner. It's going to be great. But guys, we're going to have to just take it on faith that we can do this. Because if you do something now, he probably will die right here and now. And there's nothing we can do about that. I know most of you, I guess, the only one that's probably truly old enough really to understand exactly what the breaking was is probably Delphine, because I guess
Delphine's from the Feywild. She's got no idea what you're talking about.
she's not old enough. So yeah, he's the only one that probably truly understands, because the rest of you guys are in your 20s, right?
No, Urzak's like mid-30s, I think.
Oh, he's older than he was
Yeah,
a
still
child.
he's
when it
young.
happened.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was still a child, so he's like, I lived through some very dangerous times, and I've read about even worse. This is one of those times. We need to be on faith that we can go and get him back, and that he will be okay. I know that sucks, but you need to listen to me. This is a win that is not obtainable.
I'm gonna need Cog to roll a persuasion check.
Let's see it.
It's a 16.
Alright, we'll see.
I will say that's enough for Urzak, because he was already mulling it over as it was.
And then I guess before he kind of passes and he'll look at, Irina, and he's like, we will deal with your brother as well. I don't think he's completely gone just yet.
Irina looks at you, at Strahd holding the boy, and then back at the zombie of her brother. And you just see the young woman kind of crumple a little bit. She drops to her knees, just holding that sword, unsure of what to do. The dire wolf moves 5, 10, 15. He is moving out of your area of opportunity, Urzak, if you want to take a swing at him.
No, I will not.
Okay. He moves to the corner and over to Strahd. Danika, it is your turn. Irina is not going to do anything. Cog's persuasion was enough for her, at least this moment of emotional anguish. If there's anything you would like to do, you may do so.
Danika just looks at Ishmark and then just looks at Davos. And she knows once Davos is gone, she doesn't think that the hag is going to let him last even an hour. But she knows she can't win against Strahd, so it's a rock and a hard place.
It is indeed. On Strahd's turn, he looks to your group and nods for a moment. He looks to you, Cog, and he says, "Very well. I hope that you continue to act with the same discretion as you explore the rest of my lands. Remember your purpose, expedition, and show the same discretion wherever you tread. And perhaps you might reach the old age of this one and the wisdom he seems to have."
Wow. It's gonna blush a little bit. It's like, thank you.
You then see him begin to cast a spell. It takes just 6 seconds. Nothing more than a few muttered words of incantation. and then the spell goes off. Air rushes all about you, blowing you back. You all have to cover your hands over your face as Strahd, Davos, and the 2 dire wolves disappear in a teleport. And you are all left alone in the darkness.
Does armor have scruff?
Armor?
Yeah. You know what?
Well,
It doesn't matter.
None of you would be
Delphine?
wearing armor. Anyway.
Cog is.
No,
Cog
he's
is?
not.
Oh. Alright,
Yeah.
good. This is better. I may need to make a strength check, but I know I'm gonna fail that.
Yeah, make or if you're picking him up, it's an athletics check.
Same difference.
Yeah, same difference. But, yeah, because you can't sleep in armor. It's just not possible. You get exhaustion.
It's a 10. It's a 10. It's not super terrible,
I
but
mean,
considering I have a 0.
He weighs like 30 pounds. You can pick him up with a 10.
I go over to him and I grab him by the scruff, lift him up with one hand. Delphine is pissed. We leave as soon as you get your fucking armor on. And if that boy is dead by the time we claim what's ours, that is on your head. And she just drops him.
It is it? Huh? You fucking child. Do you
At least I
understand
tried.
You know
You're
what?
a cleric
No,
that doesn't
you
have
didn't
protection from evil?
You didn't try. What you did is you almost killed everyone here and the boy. I know you want to do your best.
Then get dressed and let's go and do our
Doing
best.
your best will not work here.
Then get dressed
Not noticed that
so
yet.
we can go take back what's ours. I know you don't like that kid, and yeah, he's annoying.
You know what? Yeah,
But
guess what?
Urzak and I,
I'm not gonna.
we risked a lot to get him back.
I'm not gonna.
And everybody here
die.
has been trying to protect him. So we're gonna go get him back.
And so
We're gonna
am I.
take that windmill, and we're gonna get these two to that fucking abbey.
And by the way, you pick me up like that again, and I will slit your fucking throat. Do you understand me, Faye?
You can try.
I am not your little plaything, and neither is that boy, and that's exactly what you're doing to him.
Are you breaking free, Cog, or are you just saying this as you're being...
put him-
I dropped him already.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
You will bring that boy nothing but ruin if you had done anything this night.
And you don't know what's gonna happen as soon as those hags
know what?
have him.
I
know who they
I
worship.
can assume, and I know exactly what they do to the children here. We are not in the Ropa, and you are not the Feywild.
Then let's go take back what is ours. Can we at least agree on that?
Oh, I fully intend to be going there. Yes. But
Then
we're
let's go.
also not in the position to do that yet. Do you have everything that you need to do that? No, I used up quite a bit of my magical strength fighting those scarecrows helping Urzak. I'm no in position to help the boy
Davos
right
is
now either.
not gonna last the night if he takes him straight to those hags.
I have a feeling he's going to. I think Strahd wants us to assault that tower and that windmill. This was not... You heard him. He was here by choice. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows. We are just chess pieces on a board to that man. He wants us to assault that windmill. The boy will live at least until that long. That you can guarantee.
You'd better be able to guarantee that.
Oh, I can't guarantee anything right now because I'm in Barovia. But I also am a man that has lived many years. And I know how to read a situation. The boy will survive at least until we get there. Beyond that, it's up for grabs.
And Delphine storms away.
While that's going on, Irina has made her way around the broken wall. You all hear a kind of sound. And everybody turns to look, who's still in the room, to see Irina shoving her short sword into the base of the zombie's skull.
Oh, dear. You didn't have to do that, sweetheart. I would have done that for you.
She looks directly at you, Cog, as she's taking a cloth out of her packet and is cleaning the blade. The zombie falls to the floor in a crumple, and she looks at you and she says, "I think you have done enough this night." And then she...
Is this a... Oh, go ahead.
She then replaces her blade in her pack, and you see her begin to walk after Delphine.
Is this made of wood, that door?
Yes. It's rotten. It's like 40 years
Okay,
old
so
at
it's
least. It's not
falling
like...
apart,
yes,
right?
it's very
None
little
of
of a door.
None of it's usable? Well,
I mean, what depends on what you're wanting to use it for.
Cog's idea is to be like, Urzak, grab that, the bedroll that was left behind when the boy left. We're gonna make a litter, and we're gonna carry this body with us.
Danika's gonna look over Ishmark and see if maybe, he has any mementos on him that she can give, to his sister.
Make an investigation check as Urzak and Cog kind of gather up Davos's abandoned bedroll and begin, kind of getting it under the body. You do find that around his neck, the zombie has a small symbol of the Dawn Father on a silver chain.
Okay. Danika is going to remove that and give that to his sister.
Okay. Well, I think this is actually a pretty good place to end things for this evening.
I only have Ray's dead. I don't have anything better than right now.
Them's the breaks.
So we're gonna get him to the Abbey, and they can resurrect him there.
It was an emotional episode, as Ash says in chat, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who joined us for this heart-wrenching episode of Sonnet of Blood. It was bound to happen sooner or later, guys.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He did say he was going to talk about this again. But thank you to all of you playing. It'll be interesting next time we come back, which is going to be in January.
Is it going to be that long?
Yeah, because I think so.
Davos won't make it that
The
long.
3rd.
Don't make it that long.
Oh, it is the 3rd, yeah.
Oh, the 3rd, yeah, okay.
January 3rd. But, great role-playing session tonight. I gotta give it to Delphine and Cog for that great role-playing. Each of you get a point of inspiration.
Yeah.
That was awesome, guys.
Cog doesn't want to kill her, but he will. Yeah.
I wanted to butt in so bad. I was like, no, wait, I have to see where this goes.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, Cog and Delphine have been butting heads since the start, so
Hey,
it's like this was bound to
Cog's
happen.
been butting heads with
Someone
everyone.
had to
Let's
be the
real.
adult, and it had to be Cog. It's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you to everyone who watched this evening. We very much appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us. If you want to continue to help support the show, please like and subscribe these videos. Subscribe to our channel. Next year in January, we're going to be back streaming on Twitch again, live both here on YouTube and on Twitch every other Wednesday. So it's going to be even more places to watch us. Now, as always, I go around the table and have everybody introduce themselves and tell us where we can find them on the internet. Brandie, why don't you go ahead and go first?
I'm Brandie. You can find me here every other Wednesday, playing Vide on Curse of Strahd, and starting January something, it'll be every other Monday as well.
I think you're on the 8th. I think if you're not in Shanty. 8th
No,
or 10th.
I'm on 8th or 10th.
Yeah, so I think that's the 8th, right, man?
Yeah, that's the 8th.
Okay, so then, and I'm on all the social media stuff as at River Dragon 82. That's River with a Y. Yeah.
Thanks, Brandie. Hopefully you feel better next time we play.
Get well
Marty,
soon.
Marty, you go next.
All right, I'm Marty. You can find me here every other Wednesday as Urzak. You can also find me on the Bard Rock Network. I do truly too much stuff over there. You can check out my TTRPG Actual Play Book Club, College of Whispers. We release on the last Wednesday of every month, so that'll be next week. And my home actual play show, Wayfaring Strangers, is gearing up to release a new campaign, full campaign, in the spring. So look for that around March or April.
Nice. Dyto, you're next.
Hello, I'm Dyto. You can find me on Twitter at X at Dyto11. You can find me here every other Wednesday, and then also I will be playing with Brandie on the 8th when we start our Ether Tech Wars. You can also find me over on Lost Caravan, where I, like Marty, do way too much.
Sounds about right. Natalie, you're next.
Hi, I'm Natalie, and just the opposite of almost everybody. You can find me just here every other Wednesday. Just
Random
here.
Rhapsody exclusive.
Exactly. Curse of Strahd exclusive, right here. But that's about it. If you need to find me on any social media, you can find me at Batty Natty.
Right on. Joe, you're next.
Well, I have been the lovable Corwan. Oliver Goodwood.
Assumed right.
We'll talk in 2 weeks.
I
Don't get me
mean,
wrong.
obviously, you can find me every other Wednesday here. Curse of Strahd. Starting on January 1st, though, I'm going to be the rakishly handsome Zolos Vonneguth in the Aether Shanties campaign that we're going to be starting. We're using a new gameplay system we've never used before called Sagas. It's very interesting. It's going to be fun. Come learn it with us. And then you get to see me one time as the lovable rogue Blood from Stone on January 15th when we do our wrap up for the Fab 5 campaign.
Right on. Well, as always, I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master here on the Random Rhapsody Network, where I too do way too much stuff, and I also do way too much stuff on other people's networks every so often. So you can find me in various places, occasionally Bard Rock, occasionally Lost Caravan, occasionally all on the table, and anywhere else you can find a wacky place for me to overact. You can find me on Twitter and also Blue Sky as Scruffy Wanderer. And other than that, let's see. This month, it's the end of the month. I don't have a whole lot going on in January, apart from the Aethertech Wars and Aether Shanties new campaigns that I'm starting, and the Magi Knights Awakening campaign, and the Curse of Strahd campaign that we're doing here. I'm also still on All on the Tables TTRPG content, where I play Pathfinder one Saturday a month. I'm also doing a one-shot over on Lost Caravan at the end of January, which I'll talk more about later. But you can find me around all over the place too. So we're just a big group of happy people who do way too much TTRPG. It's great. But on behalf of everyone here in Curse of Strahd and everyone in the Random Rhapsody crew, I just want to say thank you, folks. It's been a delight, though it's been a tough one tonight. So long. Good luck. And until next time, may you live until you die. Good night, everybody.
Some of us sooner than others.
Probably.